Welcome to Ink and Bones. My name is Jaden, and in this video, we're not going to be doing a time lapse. We're just going to go through the pages that I have penciled so far. Tomorrow, I am actually going on my honeymoon, and actually, as of recording this right now, in about 4 hours, I'm getting married. So, kind of crunch for time. Page 17 pencils are damn near finished. I think I just got to redraw like a couple hands, if that. But I don't have time to do a full time-lapse video. So just in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a recap of the pencils that I have done so far. So let's get drawing. All right, so page 1 is the intro to the book, and it is Halloween night, so we got the bats flying in, seeing all the trick-or-treaters, kind of going from the very high POV shot of a bat, and then as the bats kind of fly over the town, we get closer and closer until we see all the kids clamoring for some candy. Page 2, we got Patti marking off the best day of the year. It's Halloween right on the calendar. She's stitching up her costume, ready to scare some fools, putting on the boots. You know, she's ready for war. Page 3, Patti runs off with her trick-or-treat sack, but first thing is first, she runs off to meet Jack. So she kind of runs into the woods, doing a little sneak attack on Jack. We got her jumping in the moon, and then landing on him, and it's all fun. Them walking through the woods, getting ready to go do some scaring, and this is the point where they kind of come up with the plan of who can get the most candy tonight, and Jack is taunting her, saying, you know, I don't need no mask. Look at my face. I'm a fucking jack-o'-lantern, bitch. You ain't getting nothing on me. Page 5, she is not having it. She's kind of doing like a little Shakespeare thing. I'm Queen Trick-or-Treat, talking shit. And he says, all right, if you want to fucking do this, let's do this. And then that bottom panel is kind of like a anime close-up shot of, you know, each eye before they go into battle. That's what I was thinking about when I drew it. Page 7, this is the big spread page. I'm gonna have to go through and redo their costumes just a tad bit. I've given Jack like a vest, and he looks a little bit different from now. Like the leaves on his head are way too pretty. What's the line? Vampires gnashing, witches spell casting, something like that. But they're running through, trying to get as much loot as they can. Page 8, this is one of my favorite pages that I've drawn, mainly because that candy bowl at the top, it has like the green zombie hand, and when you go in to reach for some candy, it goes down and grabs your hand. But in this one, it's a bowl's full of candy, say please just take one, and that's just what they did because cheating's no fun. So there they are, just taking one. Page 9, just showing the trick-or-treat process. They're walking around, getting candy loaded up like crazy. I'm stoked on that top panel. I was thinking of Powder Puff Girls with the Mojo Jojo brain in the jar type of guy. You can barely see just the brain in the jar, but that's that kid's costume. Page 10, this is kind of when the trick-or-treating has stopped, and they're just walking back through the park to go count their candy. We got the little Elm Street company van. I try to have some little Easter eggs here and there. Page 11, trekking through the woods. They find a nice little bench for some reprieve, and then they go and dig into their little trick-or-treat sack and do some counting. Page 12, this is when I realized that I should probably spook up the forest and their surroundings to make it feel more Halloween. At this point, yes, there's been houses and stuff that has decorations on it, but it doesn't like hit you in the face that it's Halloween. So this is when I realized I should probably start wrapping the trees with some lights, jack-o'-lanterns on the ground, really spookify up the pages. So before I do the inks, I will for sure be going through, and like I said, I gotta revamp some costumes, I gotta revamp the environment. But this is the page where I kind of figured that out. And this is them counting some candy, and then they hear some crying from the woods, and they go to investigate, and sitting below this big old tree is Timmy dressed as a slasher. Page 13, we got Timmy sitting there. It's a little bit close up. Now we can see what he looks like. Patti I forget what she says, but she says something to him. Jack says something else. Oh, Patti says, "What's wrong, little lad? It's Halloween. A slasher's supposed to be glad, not crying and howling and feeling all sad." So they both kind of say that line. They're consoling him. He's bummed. He got his candy stolen by some bullies. And then that last panel, it's him like donning the mask of he's done fucking around. Page 14, Patti and Jack devise up a plan to go prank these kids back. And by kids, I mean bullies. The page where it's just looking, or the panel where he's just looking at a blank page, I gotta write in there, plan to attack bullies. I don't know. But then that's them looking at the page. They're gonna go look through spider decorations. They're looking in coffins. And then again, some more trekking through the streets. And they end up going to the town graveyard where no one is around. They found a trail of treat wrappers that littered the ground, and it led to the town graveyard with no one around. I think that was the line. And then bam, the ambush is about to begin. So it's them showing up at the cemetery gates, cue the Pantera song, and then we see the bullies lounging. And off to the right over there behind this big old statue thing is our hero characters kind of watching the bullies eat all these stolen treats, those sons of bitches. And I'm actually gonna have to go back and again, revamping costumes. I came up with better costumes for them that are a little bit more just different, a little bit more fun, instead of just all wearing black hoods and skull masks. It's cool. It doesn't really work for me as far as aesthetics go. I don't know. I think they look cooler with the costumes that I gave them now as of penciling page 17. And then, you know, Jack's telling them to shush. I got a little treat in my pocket. You want some drugs, kids? That's kind of how I imagine him presenting this to them, but he's got stink bombs and packets of goo. And then page 16, the ambush has ensued. So they're jumping out the mist, throwing stink bombs and blasting these kids in the face. Again, I got to change their costumes a little bit. They are in the cloud of gas, scared shitless. And then from the smoke, Jack and them holler out, "If you want this to stop, give back all the candy you bullies ripped off." And then there they are. They got this bitchin' reveal. The kids are terrified, and then they start handing back all the candy in an act of surrender. And then I guess I'll show you what I have so far for the page 17, and then you can see exactly what I mean by switching around the costumes. I needed to add a little bit more character than I was giving them. So we got a mad scientist. We got, you wouldn't be able to tell who this is, but he's from Night of the Demons. We got a Bride of Frankenstein. And then we got a little Freddy Krueger kid with plastic knives and spoons and forks for his little claw hand. So they're scared, and then Jack fucking yells at him, scares the shit out of them. They go running, you know, they're waving by. And then we got Timmy leaping. His mask is even flying off. We got him leaping to his bag, getting his little trick-or-treat sack back. He's squeezing on it, loving it. So now the three heroes are sitting down, chowing on some candy before they go and walk Timmy home. And that is page 17, and that is where I'm at. We got like 5 pages to go. All right, so that is the pages that I have penciled so far. I should be uploading the page 17 pencils right when I get back, but that is going to be in about 2 weeks from now. I'm going to Italy. Well, we're going to Germany first, but that's just a layover. And then we're going to Florence, to Tuscany, to Rome, and then back home. So we got a busy little 2 weeks here. In about 4 hours, I will be a married man, and I am very excited. Marrying my best friend. I love the shit out of that woman. We also got a kid on the way. So A lot of big things are happening, but for now, this is going to be the video that I leave you with up until I get back. But that about wraps it up for the recap of the pencils that I have done so far. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, consider subscribing, slash that like button. If you want to see the videos where I actually go through the time lapse and the sketch process and the pencils of the pages that I've done so far, go ahead and click on the playlist. But for now, this has been another episode of Ink and Bones, and I will see you on the next page. Bye.